Dogs, welcome back to the Dogcast. This is episode 2. We're coming to you live from Harry Gill Gymnasium with our special guest today for episode 2. Fresh off the practice floor, it's Coach O, the head coach of the Smyrna High School Lady Volley Dogs. Coach, how are we doing today?
Man, any better, I'd be twins. Coming off a lights out volleyball camp, the girls are looking sharper and sharper every time we get together. I'm really excited about this season.
You know, just glancing down there, that looks like some tired bodies.
At day 3 of camp, I'd say it probably does. Our guys are hard at work too. We got them in here working and preparing for next February, so it's going to be good, man. I'm excited.
All right, year 2 of the Coach O era here at Smyrna. For those that really don't know who Coach O is, give us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your coaching journey.
Yeah, sure. Yep. So my players call me Coach O. My name's Chris. My last name is O'Neal, so that's where the Coach O comes from. I have been coaching competitively for 6 years. I played for roughly 20. Took a little break for some injuries and take care of some shoulder stuff. But during that time, I coached I was the director of a developmental league called I-9. I took over their volleyball program and coached youngins, man, probably 4th, maybe even 3rd grade through freshman year, and just taught developmental volleyball basics. From there, I was asked to coach for Alliance Borough, 15th team for travel ball. Had a great season there. I love those kids to this day. It's cool to see. I don't feel old enough for them to be going into junior, senior year, which is pretty weird, but here we are. From there, I got recruited to coach for Mid-10 volleyball right down the road from us. And I'm going on my 3rd season there with them. Coached at Ezel Harding, right down the road from us over there in Antioch, and did a season there. I was able to transform that program, had a great season there. And then I met Everett Batwell reached out to me and asked me, hey, what you got going on? We're looking for a volleyball coach. I actually coached not alongside, but with the same club with Katie Bell, so already kind of familiar with some of the players and, of course, her coaching style. Had a pretty successful season last season. We went about 500, which is great. And then we started men's volleyball for the first time here at Smyrna, and had a killer season with that. 21-6, getting 3rd in state. Very proud of those gentlemen and the bar they set. So, that's kind of the coaching journey, man. In a nutshell.
You said you played for 20 years.
I have
heard that right.
Yeah.
What made you fall in love with the game of volleyball?
Volleyball is unique, man, because one, I feel like it teaches you to move through adversity really well. In most sports, baseball, softball, you hit a ball through the gap, and it could be game over for you if you miss it. In volleyball, per varsity team, you have 75 mistakes you can make before the game is over, and it really isn't a solo player sport. In some teams you could be pretty top heavy and have 1 or 2 good players and still have a pretty successful season. In volleyball, you really need all 6 people doing their job, all working together to be able to be successful.
I think in sports, teaching, whatever career you decide, there's always somebody, usually, that's an influence on your career.
Sure.
Who has been your biggest influence in your coaching career?
Man, so I was the kid who would get super, I call it spicy. But I'd make a mistake and just be super negative, slap the court, all the stuff I actually don't like having my players do now when we coach them out of it. But I had Big Joe Kaliakamoa out in Las Vegas, Tennessee, is where I'm from. Coached me through high school, and it was a huge impact to me and kind of taught me how to move through that adversity. I worked for a hockey team out in Las Vegas called the Las Vegas Wranglers, ECHL, so a pro team, and just paid attention in their huddles and their locker room meetings to the head coach there, Coach Glenn, and then had a really good chance to work for a gentleman here out of the national market, Coach Michael Burke, who's a former basketball coach of Riverdale from a while back, and he taught me how to build a system. So it's really where my coaching system came from and our success system came from when it comes to my volleyball team. So being able to take anyone from A to B, being where their desired outcome is, and A being where they walk in the gym, right? And just helping players move through adversity, grow through adversity, and be successful. So both gentlemen right there, man. Coach Glenn, Big Coach Joe, and Coach Michael Burke have been huge impacts.
Coach, year 2, probably still in the process of building a program. What kind of culture do you look for in trying to build?
So we teach a couple different things. For one, the culture, the motto is believe, behave, become. Right? Believe, behave, become. So one, we need to step in the gym and have confidence, and believe that we're capable and worthy of achieving what we're setting out to do. Second, you have to back that belief with activity. So it's behave. And then ultimately becoming that what you're setting out to achieve. So what's cool, I mean, you and I are guys, right? So we can't look ourselves in the mirror and like, man, I'm a beast, I'm a lion, and then not do anything all day. And towards at least making action toward our goals. I'm a beast, I'm a lion, then we never go to the gym. We eat McDonald's every day. No, we're not a very healthy lion. So we look at, we start building delusion at that point. So with believe, behave, become, it's here's who I am, here's what I'm about, here's how I do it differently than anybody else. And here's why I should play for you. And here's what we're looking to achieve. And it's the same thing as a coach, right? Here's who I am. Here's how I do it different. And here's what we're going to set out to achieve this year. And then it's getting those reps in and then achieving what we set out to achieve. So last year, right, the girls were like, we want to win more. Like, well, that's an outcome. But how are we going to do it? So we taught the believe, behave, become system. Part of that system is attitude, energy, effort is being non-negotiable. So you got to show up the attitude, energy, effort every single day. Because those are the things you can control. In volleyball, we train to control the rest, but those three variables are 100%.
Obviously, you mentioned last year's team, they wanted to win more. And obviously, everybody wants to win.
Yeah.
How do you define success beyond the wins and losses?
Yeah. That's a really good question. I think wins and losses doesn't completely tell the story, right? To me, it's progress over perfection, and the girls know that too. And I think that's a little bit of the way we've been able to gain some trust coming in. It's close to season we did last year. Is getting buy-in from your players. One is a win, I think, for any coach. Two, it's helping them grow, helping them see that growth and feel confident. Everything else takes care of itself if you can take care of the culture and get buy-in. The wins come, everything is on the back end. So it's work ethic, it's attitude, energy, effort, it's believing, behaving, becoming, and everything else is on the back end. I mean, sure, I think all the coaches, we want to win, and I'm competitive as could be. I am not a great loser. I'm the coach that loses, and then I'll stay up till 2, 3 in the morning reviewing footage and go, what do we need to work on? But that's part of that progress over perfection, right? We're not going to get it right every time, but as long as we're moving towards what we need to, then we'll find the ways. And that's what we did last season. We went from a 3-win season to a 13-win season, and that's part of the system. That's how we do it.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I've seen you guys practice a few times. I've seen a few games. I've probably never seen you raise your foot a lot. But describe your coaching style?
Consistent, collaborative. I've had players that want me to rip their heads off and just yell at them and be militant. It's just not my style. Can I be that way? Yeah, I just don't feel good helping them grow that way. I've never seen anyone yell at a plant and it grow into a healthy plant. Say humans are made up of the majority water just like plants are. So I think one is gaining that respect. It's collaborative. I want it to be conversational. Hey, come here, we're rotating through, right? We wave, so we have 6 on, go for a couple of minutes, come off. So while they're off, we just have conversations. Hey, notice a little bit of this. Let's make sure we're working on that footwork. Hey, make your drawing here. Make sure we're nice and loose in the shoulder. Hey, your contact's here, right? And we can make those fixes without having to yell at them. It's a very psychological game of volleyball. If you lose your head, they're fun will tear you apart.
Good deal. I'm guessing, a year and a half ago, you were accepted the Smyrna job. Kind of went through Everett reaching out to you. But name some of the things that made this job attractive enough to pursue, but also a job that we offered and accepted.
Love my time at EJL, and love those girls. But I would say from the moment of the first conversation with Harris and Wright, and then Sutherland being a part of that as well, Smyrna felt like home. I've been pretty close proximity for a while, so I've always known the Bulldogs. Had a couple buddies graduate from here, 06, 07. A very successful year for Smyrna, I believe, on the football field, both years. So I've always been close to purple and gold. When we came in here, you could feel the difference. Right, Smyrna just has a different atmosphere than a lot of schools do. So atmosphere was big. The support of the admin it's the best I think I've ever seen. I mean, from any other school. They asked me, how do I feel about starting a men's program when I was interviewing for the girls program? I was like, that's a huge piece of accepting this job if you offer it, because Smyrna likes to do things first and they like to do it better than anybody else. And I'm built the same way. I think it's just a perfect fit. So that's why I accepted it.
We're glad to have you. Looking ahead of the season, year one was 13-14, third place in the district. Like you said, we went from 3 wins to 13 wins last year.
Yeah.
Did lose 8 seniors. And anytime, I hated this question when I was coaching basketball here, but is this kind of a rebuilding year?
I agree with you. Don't like the question. I don't like the question either. I think rebuilding has its own connotations to it. I'd say it's a foundational year. Just in the span of a couple of weeks, we've seen a ton of growth, intention, volleyball IQ going through the roof, making smart plays. I don't think. I don't agree with rebuilding. I definitely agree with foundational. And what we're looking to do is not ever have a rebuilding year. We do a really good job of maintaining what I call inventory of players. We have a good backfill. We also don't specialize very early on in our spring training. So we teach all the skills. So we have athletes that can fill multiple positions, so we never have to worry about restarting. What we're looking to do is build that foundation so we have a strong structure for sustainable success.
Piggybacking off the last question, you coach a little differently this year with it being such a young, inexperienced lineup than you did. That's kind of a veteran lineup last year.
Sure. Last year they understood the game, so just teaching them to play with intention and not just bully the ball. And they did a great job of that. This year, same thing, training with intention. I think we don't change the coaching style or the message. The message is the message. The standard is the standard, and that's greatness, right? Excellence is the floor, and greatness is the standard. And the girls are rising to meet that. So I've always been taught to train to the highest level in the gym, and that's what we're doing.
And you've taken a couple of different jobs here. Do you think it's easier coming in like last year when you have a team, or let's just say this was your first year and you said they had just graduated? What do you think would be easier?
Definitely coming in with 8 seniors, who the majority of which play football. So last season was. I don't want to say it's easier. I think it's simpler, right? Because I don't have to teach the game as much when you have three senior leaders at that who play football. They understand how a fast game is needed to be played. I think now it's just what's great is Samaya Jones was my captain last year. This year we're looking at probably Lacey Dunn to step into that, and that was Samaya's little. So it's really a passing of the torch, and Lacey's bought in. She understands what it's going to take to be successful, and she's done a great job helping me through that.
What excites you about this year's team?
And we're young and we're hungry. Yeah, dude. These girls want it, and you can tell. And right now we brought a group of professional athletes in to help train the girls and just teach the game from a different aspect, give them some different tools to be successful this year. And the girls are super. They were a little hesitant, I think, day one. I think there was you have that pedestal of professional athlete, and then the last couple of days they're opening up and they're really asking questions to try to understand the game from this level. I love to see that, and then challenging them too, hey, I understand this, we're taught this, what do you mean, help me understand, and that's exactly what I want my players to do, is that help them with game mentality, learn the game from different angles. It's great.
Being such a new faces on the floor, who are some players that fans need to know about? Who are you excited about? Not just this year, but maybe in the future.
That's a tough question too, because we have a lot of great talent in our gym. I think it'd be easy to call out, a handful of girls, but I would just say keep an eye on Smyrna volleyball in general. We're on our way. Yeah, I'd say keep an eye on it. Smyrna will be. You have my word. Smyrna will be some of the best volleyball in the state of Tennessee.
Goals for this season.
Yeah. Maintain and grow, I think, is the goal, right? We did such a good job growing last year, playing with intention, handling ourselves better under pressure, and that's what I want to see now, is maintain that and grow it. We're young, so it's teaching the new girls and getting them caught up to speed with some of the big 3 who came back, right? We had 3 returning varsity players, Lacey Dunn, Maya Cornwell, and Lily Lane. Those are our big 3. And having them lead that squad and just teach them how to move through adversity like I did there last year.
I know we have a preseason tournament Saturday.
Yeah.
Talk about after that and when the season gets underway.
Sure. So we have, I call it my summer season. So we do 2 play days, get about 8 games. It gives me and my coaching staff enough information to be able to make decisions on rotations and who's playing defense here, who's rotating it for who. So we're still waiting on those seasons, but we'll play 8 games. And then our first game will be at home versus Central Magnet on the 17th of August. So 5 o'clock JV, 6 o'clock club.
Any message for Bulldog Nation being here?
I think I probably popped the gun on that a little bit. Keep an eye on Smyrna Volleyball. I mean, we're coming. You know, I think these girls are hungry. They want it to be something, and people are you know, the guys we have in here are bought into that message also. Is why we have professionals in our gym, and I'm just really excited to be able to get back to Smyrna. Everything I learned, and like I said, we're coming. So guys, girls will be the top in the state. Just wait.
There you have it. Guys, get on out here to Harry Gill Gymnasium. Watch Coach O and his volleyball team get started August 17th here against Central Magnet. Coach O, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
We'll catch up with you throughout the week.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. See you guys.
Dog fans, make sure you like and share that podcast. And we'll see you next time. This is the Dogcast.